Hello everyone. So for my assignment I got phonetics and phonology. And I had no idea what either one of these were before I started this, so hopefully this information can help you in your future teaching. So what is phonetics and phonology? Well, let's start with phonetics. Phonetics is the study of speech sounds. It can be viewed as phonetic science, and it investigates speech sound waves. It's a study of the organs and how they affect speech, speech sounds that are pronounced by the tongue and the larynx. So, for example, the T and the TH. If I say t, 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 my tongue doesn't come forward. It just goes right behind my teeth. But if I say my tongue comes just before my teeth. And also another one is the B and the M. So if I say b, 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 and I hold my nose while I do that, so go b, 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 I can still make that sound. However, if I go say M, and I hold my nose while I say M, so I go the sound completely stops. So phonetics would be, how does all that work? Why whenever I say B and hold my nose, I can still say the B sound, but whenever I say M and hold my nose, I can't do that? Or why does the tongue not come forward whenever I say t, 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 but it does whenever I say th, th, th. So people who study phonetics would want to figure that out. Now, what is phonology? Phonology is the study of higher level of speech organization with specific languages, or the system and patterns of sounds in a particular language. So phonology is more language specific. They want to know why certain speech sounds happen in certain speech languages. So this can be broken up into 3 different parts. The first part is phonemes, and you have pitch and stress. So what are phonemes? Phonemes is the sounds that make up the language and are distinctive units of sounds that make up words. How the sounds are ordered is phonemic sequencing. A point of articulation is where the tongue is whenever you say the phonemes. So like with the T and the TH, how my tongue was t, 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 either right behind my teeth or right before my teeth. The manner of articulation is how the airstream is obstructed. So how is the airstream, how does that work whenever you're saying different sounds? And the last one is whether the vocal cords vibrate or not. So you can do this with by putting your hand on your throat, and let's say you're going to say the word pie. So you go p-I, p-I. Your vocal cords don't vibrate with the P, but they do with I and E. Same with fly. So you say fly, fly. They vibrate with the L and the Y, but they do not vibrate with the F. So phonology would want to study why that is. The next one is stress, which is how your vocal activity is modified with the meaning of words. Pitch is the vibration of the vocal cords and actual formation of the sounds and other sound qualities. It's also the annotation, so that's using the pitch to modify sentence meaning, and tone language, which is a language that uses pitch of individual syllables to contrast meaning. So, in a nutshell, phonetics is the general observation of sounds and sounds that can be made or produced. The analysis and description of the sounds, let's say in English or Spanish or French or German, it doesn't matter what language it is, that would be phonology. So let's look into a little bit of the history about phonetics and phonology and kind of where all this came from. So phonetics has been around for a very, very long time. When I looked it up, I believe it said it was 2 million years or something like that. It's been a very, very long time since phonetics has been around. And phonetics came about before phonology did. Phonetics is the predecessor to phonology, which makes sense because you study how speech sounds work, and then you have phonology, which is the specific language. So phonetics, like I said, has been around for a very long time and is considered one of the oldest behavioral sciences and one of the most successful. Henry Stewart is the pioneer in modern scientific phonetics of his time. He was alive from 1845 to 1912. And if you have ever seen the movie My Fair Lady, you know that the girl, Eliza, she did not pronounce her words correctly. So the other character, the gentleman, he decided that he was going to take her in and teach her how to say all these words correctly and be super proper and stuff like that. Well, the guy, the one who was going to teach her all this, he was based off of Henry Stewart and how he used phonetics. And actually, also in that movie, you can see the International Phonetic Alphabet, which Daniel Jones was the father of, and how he uses the phonetic alphabet to help Eliza to say all these words and be proper and all this stuff. And there's actually a play that was based off of, which is I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. Gemelline, I think I pronounced that right, by Gerald Bradford Shaw. He was the one that initially started the, hey, I want to use Henry Stewart as a person. So it became very widely known, and phonetics was a very, very big deal. So how can this help English language learners? Well, this can help them with pronunciation, and also it can help them with speaking. It can help them to be able to pronounce the words correctly so that people can understand them whenever they are talking. And a website that I found, a gentleman named Jones, back in 2002, stated that part of the reason for focusing on habit formation, so focusing on how to make sure that you're pronouncing the words correctly, is acquiring L2 phonology is the specific characteristics of pronunciation, which is unlike other language skills. Involves both cognitive and motor functions. Few would deny that repeated practice of motor functions results in increased dexterity. So he was saying that pronunciation, or phonetics and phonology, use your cognitive and motor functions for English learners. So teaching phonetics and phonology, there was another gentleman, or lady, I'm not sure, I just got the last name because that's all they gave me, as Brereton, I hope I pronounced that correctly, back in 1980 stated that teaching sequence must therefore be organized in terms of priorities and degrees of difficulty. The amount of time devoted to specifically pronunciation teaching depends on the large priorities of the course in general. So he basically said that you need to make sure that you're teaching pronunciation based on the priorities of the course. He also gave a list of procedures of how he thought that you should best teach this. His first one was recognizing practice should precede production practice. Or I'm sorry, yeah, I said that correctly.